Hello, good afternoon. So this is for this week's energy forecast from today, December 24th to December 30th. So I'm going to share some things with you all that came through for us this rising. Number one, if you are one who is spending a lot of time with groups of people this week, it is crucial that you make sure that you are giving time to yourself, okay? Now, it doesn't matter what holiday you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Yule, whatever it is. If you are going to be with a lot of people this week, make sure you're giving some time to yourself. Make sure that you're shielding yourself. Make sure that you're cleansing before and after you're going places so that you're not carrying things with you, back with you, or you're not carrying things to where you're going, okay? Number two, holding on to the materialism this week is going to make your life difficult as all hell. So, and I already felt that this morning. I had to transmute and redirect, and so that's how I knew that it was also a collective thing. So remembering that doesn't matter, again, what holiday you celebrate. It's about you. It's about the time that you're spending with others, okay? And it's not about the gifts. It's not about how many gifts you brought. It's not about how much you're doing for other people right now. It's the time and enjoying company, family, honoring the dark months, the end of the year, cleansing out things that you're still letting go of for the end of this year, okay? So those are the two main things that were felt from me personally this morning. So anybody that resonates with, then there you go. Now let's get into the collective. Okay. I call in the ancestors of the highest truth, the highest character, Orishas, archangels, ascended masters, and God consciousness. For the highest good, for the highest truth of all involved, a energy forecast from today, Monday, December 24th, 2018, extending to December 30th, 2018. Give us, for the highest good of all involved, give us some guidance to get through each day successfully and with ease so that we are continuously expanding our consciousness, getting closer to our desires, or remembering that we already have all that we need in our life, and that as we continue to see that, the universe, God energy grants us things that we desire to see, witness, and feel. All right, so Monday, today, what is being felt? The Seven of Wands, okay? And the Seven of Wands is that growth. It is seeing the growth that is taking place. It is connecting to the growth that is taking place. It is knowing because he is standing on top of a mountain. You can see the water is flowing. 1 foot is in the water. So it is that growth. It is witnessing that growth. In seeing that you are growing, it is witnessing and knowing, okay? So from a space of spirituality, it's not looking too much outside of you for the growth. It's knowing that it's within, okay? Let's see what else. I'm using my book today. Okay, so The Seven of Wands is also talking about that success against other things, okay? So it's, you can see how he's pushing away the other six, or how he's above them, okay? And it's success against opposition. So you are successfully navigating this day when you can see what lessons are presenting themselves to you. What challenges are arising for you right now? What challenges are arising for you as an individual? What challenges are arising for you as an individual? And what can you do to successfully grow from that space? So for example, me as a human, I was like, oh, I got all this shit thing that I want to do all these things, and then I got to make sure I get all this and this, and I realized, like, wait a second. It's not about did I get 15 pictures for my family with all frames. It's about the fact that we're spending time with each other, okay? So when you can step back and recognize what is coming up for you and successfully transmute and navigate, the competition has to do with that inner truth, that inner competition. What are you competing with yourself, right? You are your biggest enemy and your biggest supporter. In terms of enemy-wise, you compete with yourself. Why are you being so hard on yourself? What can you do to let go of these stigmas that you are putting on yourself? Because right now, I can guarantee you, there's not a lot of stigmas that that others are putting on you. There are more that you are putting on yourself because you think you need to be a certain way in order to get through this day, in order to do this, in order to show up like this. You only have to show up for yourself, okay? Tuesday, the card coming through is the Fool. And it's about recklessness and risk-taking and holding back, okay? The Fool is really what is coming through for this energy is you need to give yourself some time. If you're celebrating Christmas, if you're celebrating any holiday tomorrow, be in the moment, okay? Stop trying to rebel against things. Don't start new things in the moment. Just allow things to be as they are. Find yourself in this. Find yourself in the, this is representing a quiet level rather than the fun level of the Fool. And so in reverse, the Fool is like, you're going to get real serious about things. So instead of getting too serious about things on Tuesday, it is finding the playfulness in the day. How can you connect to the playfulness in your day tomorrow rather than getting too serious? Does the wrapping paper, does this, does that? What do I have to do? Do I have to work? No matter what it is. I just keep saying Christmas because I know we're personally celebrating that with a family. But it's keeping that light heart, right? Not allowing yourself to get too serious or too personal, taking things personal, really enjoying the moment, not getting bent up over the way things look, not getting bent up over how things are being presented. It is really this playfulness that is coming through for Tuesday. So allowing that playfulness to come through. It is seeing the bigger picture of things rather than looking at the nitty-gritty details. What is the big picture of this week? The big picture of this week is holiday from many cultures, right? So the big picture of this week, the holiday-wise, is to celebrate and to find the joy, to enjoy family, to feel the connections, okay? So the Fool is saying when you see yourself getting bent up about things, when getting too personal, you're getting too quiet, let things go, let your hair down, enjoy the playfulness of what is coming up. Okay, so the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords for Wednesday is going to be a rest period, okay? So it is after all of this, there's a lot going on these next couple of days, energetically and collectively. No matter what holiday you celebrate, there's a lot going on these next couple of days, okay? Even if you don't celebrate a holiday and you're just working, this energy is super, super busy. This is why making sure that you're giving some time to yourself, you're giving some time for silence. Silence is going to be key this next couple of days, probably from today until going into a little bit into Wednesday. I see Thursday a little bit. So making sure you're sitting in silence, whether you're in the shower or whatever it is, giving yourself some time to connect to your breath, connect to your body, connect to your soul. So this is saying the rest period that is happening once everything is settling Monday and Tuesday. Lots of high energy this Monday and Tuesday. So it's that rest after all of that high energy, whether it's contrast, whatever it is coming through for you, it's that rest. So allowing yourself to rest, right? Not having to do too much. If you have to work on Wednesday, then taking it easy at work, not overworking yourself, not rushing to the stores if you're gonna exchange gifts. Don't do that all on Wednesday. Give yourself some time to rest. No need to clean up your house and put everything away. You'll have time to do that soon enough. But Wednesday's gonna be that rest day. After all of these days of really fast, high energy, it's gonna feel a little bit more calm. It's gonna be like a gratitude for the family time, gratitude for the days that things are moving fast. But this is going to be a day where you get to give thanks, where you get to say, I am so grateful for all the time we spent with family. I'm so grateful for all the things that are in my life. I'm grateful for the blessings. I see it. I am relaxing. I'm allowing myself to settle. So that is what is coming through for Wednesday. Okay, Thursday. The Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is coming in reverse. So when it comes, the Nine of Cups in upright is having to do with like that contentment, okay? It's the satisfaction, the contentment. So in reverse, it has to do with dissatisfaction, right? Looking at your inner happiness. What are you on Thursday? If you find yourself contemplating too much of materialism, which again, this is a lot to do with this week, it is to reconnect to your inner happiness. Not, I spent this much money, oh, this and this and this, or whatever it is. You're reconnecting to your inner happiness on Thursday. Making sure that when you arise in the rising on Thursday, you are doing work for spirit. You are doing work on a soul level rather than a material level. Again, these couple of days are going to be, whether we see them as time for family, we're still witnessing the materialism of these next couple of days. So after Wednesday, and then there's rest. Make sure that you are still connecting to the soul level of truth, that you are seeing the gratitude that's coming through. You're not getting caught up in the materialistic 3D of life, that you're finding the satisfaction for what you have around you and no lack. This really came up as there may be a lack that is being felt on Thursday. And if you feel that lack, it is connect to gratitude immediately. If you feel or if you feel that lack, it is looking around and asking for a sign or that space to remember that you have all that you need, that you are always going to have what you need, that you have all the tools to navigate, to transmute, to grow. And it's also giving thanks for what you have right now. It is finding that internal happiness, not allowing things outside of you to dictate your happiness or dissatisfaction. It is that internal happiness. It is seeing the light from within and shining it from the inside out, okay? Friday, the Knight of Cups is coming through, and he's also coming through in reverse. So it's being realistic with things that are going on and not overreacting to things or being in a jealous, moody space on Friday. Again, it is this energy carrying over into Friday. So it is really finding that internal happiness and gratitude for what you have, rather than allowing emotions of others or your emotions to run wild, okay? It's getting hold of your emotions. So the Knight of Cups in upright, he can see the beauty, he connects to the beauty. He's very charming and creative. There may be some energies on Friday where you are going to witness some things that you wish you had, okay, that you wish to see. And instead of finding the jealousy in it or getting moody about it and being emotional and allowing your emotions to drive you wild, you take some time to transmute. You connect to the gratitude. You ask yourself, Where does this jealousy come from? Oh, this jealousy comes from the desire to want this. Now, because I know I want this, I'm going to come back and connect to what I already have. I know in order to get there, I have to be okay with what is right now, emotionally, right? That emotional stability is what is coming through. So for Friday, it's finding that emotional stability. It is not allowing yourself, not even not allowing, but seeing what emotions that you are experiencing, okay? Seeing the emotions that you are experiencing and working with those emotions to bring yourself back into the present and notice and recognize who you are, what you're doing, what you desire, and why you're in this space right now. If you are feeling jealousy on Friday, if you're moody on Friday, ask yourself, are you worrying too much over here? Are you giving too much energy to this? Are you not giving yourself enough attention? Are you looking outside of yourself because you're not okay with where you are? And if you're not okay with where you are, what can you do to make changes? Okay, for Friday. Saturday, the Justice card is coming through. The Justice card in upright is talking about that balance, right? It's like whatever you put in is what you're going to get out, right? It's that fairness, it's that truth. So Saturday, it is going to be, if you find yourself in a space of dishonesty and lack of accountability, this is now, on Saturday, it's telling you basically to hold yourself accountable for your actions, okay? Not blaming anybody else, not saying things are unfair. Remember, Saturday, when things come up, it is about remembering that where you are is where you desire to be. So this is really strong what's coming through right now. What it is, okay, so if you have a list of desires that you are working on, okay, you are going to feel and see and witness every time you connect to one of your desires, you are going to lose something in your life, okay? If you desire to have this, something has to go in order to make room for that to happen, okay? Part of it is remembering that when you are losing things, it is because you asked for your desire to come to the surface. Now, if you are not okay with what you have to sacrifice, then you are gonna find yourself in a space of disharmony, okay? You're gonna find yourself saying, that is not fair, Saturday. That is not fair that this person can have this, but I can't. Well, remember, you have to remember what you asked for. You will have to make sacrifices of things that you didn't even realize you had to sacrifice in order for your desires to come to fruition. Now, if you are not okay with that, then that is why you are going to think things are unfair. But when you know that the Justice card being the cause and effect of life, if you ask for something and you don't like the way you get it, well, you shouldn't have asked for it. This is why the universe always says, be careful for what you ask for, because if you ask for something and you're like, but why did I get this? It's because you asked for it. So if you see this unfairness coming through, this dishonesty coming through, and you're like, I didn't want that, remember, it is because you wanted that. You wanted what you asked for. And you may not be able to see it because you thought it was going to come in a different way. But when you say, I desire this, and you name it, the universe is going to give it in any way, and it's going to make sure you get it the way that you desire to get it. And so it's going to make sure that it's clearing space for you. And it's also going to make sure that there are things that you are sacrificing in return. Okay? The Hermit. The Hermit is coming in reverse also. So Sunday, the Hermit coming in reverse has to do with you're secluding yourself a little bit too much, and you're looking, and for me, when the Hermit comes in reverse, I think about looking outside of you for your light to shine the light rather than inside. So Sunday, it is putting yourself out there in some way that you are not acting out of fear. When you seclude yourself too much, when the Hermit comes in reverse, and it symbolizes For me, it symbolizes when you seclude yourself too much, it's because you're hiding from something, okay? Or you are avoiding something. So instead of avoiding something and waiting for something to show itself to you, you have to shine first, okay? Do not hide your light from the outside world. Allow your light to shine. Remember, your light is shining the path for you to walk. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. So on Sunday, that is connecting to that. Don't shy away from things or hide in because you are out of fear or out of not wanting to do something. Own up to it, connect to that space, and shine your light from the inside out, okay? So I hope that gave you a little insight of navigating through this week, ways to get through this week. Really, overall, the message coming through, the big message after looking at all these cards, it really has to do with the emotional level of our conscious. It is not allowing our emotions to get wild. It is recognizing where ego is really trying to step in when soul wants to be present. A lot of this has to do with like unfairness, emotional discomfort. And that is your ego telling you something. Remember, and if you didn't sign up for the webinar is going to literally change the way you look at ego forever. So let me just give you a taste, okay? When the ego is uncomfortable, it is because, for one, the ego is uncomfortable because it is not getting what it wants, okay? That's where the unfairness of the justice comes in. And so the ego is the one that desires things. The soul always has everything that it wants. And so surrendering to that, the fact that the soul has what it wants, but being a human, we have desires, we have passions, we have those things here. So you either surrender to what it is that you have and allow life to take you everywhere it wants to take you, or if you want to, remember, manifesting desires is an ego want. If you are going to befriend your ego, so there is two ways to do this, okay? There's multiple ways to do this, but if you are befriending your ego, you are saying that you're allowing your ego you're giving your ego what it wants, right? So the ego, in order for the ego to get what it wants, it requires sacrificing, okay? Now, on a soul level, when you find yourself in a space of contentment, that is because you know you have everything you want. So in order for the ego to get what it desires, you must be okay. The ego, the soul has to speak, and the soul speaks and tells ego, you have everything that you want now. You have everything that you need now. Now, yes, I know you have desires, but you need to give thanks to what you have now. When the ego plays the card of unfairness, it is because the ego is not seeing from a soul level that it has everything that it needs. Now, befriending your ego is learning how to navigate this life and manifest your greatest desires. If you are somebody who is completely surrendering to this life, and remember, if you are completely surrendering to what the soul has for you, you're always going to have everything that you need. Always. Now, when the ego comes and plays and says, I desire this because I'm allowing my human to have fun in this life, that is part of the dark side, okay? And this is why we find that balance within us, because the ego can get really greedy, or the ego can just be like, okay, cool. I desire this, I desire that. I have a passion, I have love. The ego is the only thing that feels emotion. The soul is on a level of complete contentment. There is no emotion on a soul level from spirit, right? The spirit there's no emotion attached to spirit. The only reason we feel feelings is because ego feels feelings, okay? So befriending your ego is how you are going to manifest your greatest desires. You are going to manifest the things that you want in this life. Now, if you're okay with everything you have and you don't want to manifest, cool, then keep surrendering to your soul. But If part of your life is to create something, then remember, in order to create, you have to befriend your ego. So that is just a little bit about what this webinar is going to be about. You can purchase the webinar from the website. It is $25. And you receive Distance Reiki for a week, a recording of the website or of the webinar. So you're going to visit www.synergysoul.org, purchase under services, the mindset of self-mastery. Once you are finished purchasing, email. The email link is in our bio. The webinar is January 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Once you purchase, you click the email link in our bio or email info@synergysoul.org and let us know that you purchased the webinar. So we have an email to send you the link once we get closer to the webinar, and so that we also have an email to send you the recording following, okay? Another thing, CBD, Thought Cloud is having a CBD sale from today into the 1st. And I know I talk about CBD often, but it is one of my favorite tools for navigating life and being human. And accepting being human is that we're going to have anxiety and stressors. Part of ego desires will bring on anxiety and stress. It is what it is. If you desire things, you will feel stress and anxiety from your desires because it is a pull to that direction. So learning how to navigate. CBD is one of the top plant-based ways to deal with stress and anxiety on top of amongst other things. So this is my favorite company. This is why, yes, you should still email us. This is why I love this company. For one, it is organic and pure, right? And two, they charge their oils with Reiki and high vibrational healing vibes. So it's now even more beneficial to you in terms of once you're ingesting the oils, you're also ingesting those vibrations and those Reiki, okay? So Thought Cloud, I have put so many links and posts about CBD. You can purchase, it's up to 70% off. And as you purchase, if you use our link and our code, you save extra on top of the sale prices. CBD seriously is one of the best human plant-based tools that we can possibly have for navigating. Not only does CBD help with anxiety and stressors, it also helps with your third eyesight. And this is why. CBD mimics the healing in the brain the way meditation does. So neurogenesis, and it blocks the receptors that will inhibit those stressors, right? Those neurotransmitters. Meditation does the same thing. So when you pair meditation and CBD or one or the other, depending on what you choose, your path, then you are telling those neurotransmitters that they are not allowed to reproduce too much because those are what causes inflammation and stressors and anxiety in the body, okay? I am not sure about CBD affecting thyroid in a negative way. I'm sure, and I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me, that it will have a Thought Cloud CBD. Yes, Thought Cloud CBD is having a 70% off sale. You can even save even more by using the code SOUL, okay? I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me, but because of the anti-inflammatory responses that CBD has, that I think it would benefit almost anything because a lot of diseases are based off of an inflammatory body, okay? So the webinar, and if you signed up for our newsletter, remember those 2 specials that are listed on the webinar, you can only purchase from Saturday to Saturday. So once that Saturday's over, you cannot get those. It was 2 sessions, I think for $244, and a 30-minute reading, face-to-face like this, a 30-minute reading where you get to ask questions on what the cards are coming through, and that was $77.77. You can only purchase that if you signed up for the newsletter, and you only have till Saturday to purchase that. I also started offering single card readings for $11.11, and that's for anybody, but the newsletter people got that announcement first. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for this HiCast. Thank you for joining. I wouldn't be worried about it affecting your thyroid. I've never heard of any CBD and negatively affecting the thyroid whatsoever. But you can check on it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that CBD is one of the most healing things on this planet. And people don't realize that cannabis is, Mary Holiday Cat, that cannabis There you go. No, it's great for my thyroid. So any fears that you have about CBD, remember, cannabis is one of the top ways for natural healing. It literally it's called the people's plant because it was put on this earth to heal us. So yes, if you have any concern, now remember, I want you to remember that not every doctor is going to be able to educate you on CBD because they know very little. So this is a part where you have to read things on your own, okay? Because doctors may be like, don't do that, da 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 da. But again, let me just remind you, okay? From a space, I would ask a doctor that you are safe, you are comfortable asking, that also dabbles in plant medicines, because a traditional doctor may not know a lot about CBD, and they're going to veer you away from, because they would rather you purchase big pharma. That's who funds them. So remember that. Traditional doctors are not always going to support when you choose to do plant medicine over. So I would ask somebody that you are comfortable asking and that has an open mind. Hence why we don't go to a lot of traditional doctors in my home. Not that there's nothing wrong with it. If you love traditional doctors, awesome. But if you're looking for plant-based healing, a traditional doctor may not know all about that. A neuropath, a DO that does integrated medicine, which is still traditional, a DO that does integrated medicine, a naturopath, sorry, I'm reading your thing. A naturopath, or somebody that just works in a holistic clinic that maybe is a DO or an MD that has a knowledge about alternatives or natural, because it's technically not alternative. But anyways, so yes, if you're not comfortable taking CBD, ask your doctor, but remember, your doctor also may not know a lot about it, because it is not the norm, okay? All right, I love you all. I'm going to upload this on the YouTube. I hope it gave you some tips to navigate for this week. Remember to purchase your ticket for the webinar. Also grab your CBD. And what else? Oh, the offers. If you sign up for the newsletter, you only have a week for those offers, except for single card readings are now offered for $11.11. You have to purchase that through emailing. Our email link is in our bio, because I do not have it up on the website yet. Merry holiday to you all. I love you all so much, and I thank you all for joining me this afternoon, 1221. And I will see you soon. Maybe I'll do live. Oh, wait, I am taking over, and I'll post it up on my stories. I am taking over an IG on Friday. So I will put that up. Make sure you join. It's Friday, December 28th at 1:11. I will be taking over somebody's IG, and look out to see whose it is.